Hello, Drunkduckers. This is Ozonation, and this is the Quackcast. With me is Banes and Tantz, and this is Quackcast number 762. Yay! Okay, this week we're doing sort of we're doing a conflict resolution and how different characters deal with issues like that. But first we have to bring up the featured comic. But before we do that, alright, okay, Ozonation, Tantz and Banes, we're gonna do the featured comic now. Featured comic, Quackcast gave us a feature comic called the Oceanogronauts. Yeah, Tantz, that was exactly it.
Alright.
Yeah, you got it. First time. Okay, so take it away, Quack.
Hello, this is Quackcast, and the feature I've selected for this week is Oceanogronauts by Spooky Kitsune, and it is rated M for mature. Following a series of worldwide conflicts, humanity realized it could no longer reach for the stars, and instead settled for the seas. The Oceanogronauts were created to live a peaceful existence among other humans in the ocean. A small crew of 3, including a captain and son, on board an underwater craft, prepare to land while feasting on tuna rice bowls homemade by Yuki. Line work entirely in black and white. Inverted white text and art on a black background found in the early pages have a strategy computer game look and feel. Reflect on the wartime history over the last century and read Oceanogronauts by Spooky Kitsune, rated M.
That was Quai with Oceanogronauts, as Tantz outlined. It's an excellent version of that particular word. Okay, and now we have Gamos with his little music file. So, little music file. He has given us a great piece of music. It is the theme to a little comic that is called Lavender, which I featured a couple of weeks ago. Lavender's a really good comic. Lavender is a chill, reflective, and somewhat triumphant piano-heavy tune that slowly builds up and up into a positive resolve, like an explosion of water in a beautiful fountain. So take it away, Gummels, with your theme to Lavender. was Gomulus with Lavender, his version of the music to Lavender, which is, of course, a comic by Dan G, rated T, which rhymes with Dan G, so that's probably why he picked that rating. I'm pretty sure that was the reason. So now we're into the Quackcast reel, the actual Quackcast. So, Banes and Tantz, I believe you have some questions to ask me.
We are going to do some oversight and regarding the Drunkduck site. And Baines is going to begin, and then I will follow up.
I'm Justice Banes. First of all, Administrator, I want to thank you for making the time to be here today.
I'm very pleased to be here with you.
So please, some people are wondering, some people asking about the site updates, and but why hasn't that happened yet?
Well, I'm very pleased you asked that about the site updates, because that's, it's been weighing on my mind. But the real question is, how much do people actually enjoy the site using it? I mean, I think Drunkduck is an amazing website. It's been around for over 20 years now, which is so long. And I've been managing. No, look, shut up. I'm answering his question. Look,
we have a time.
You'll have your time. I'm an amazing administrator. Everyone agrees with that. And that's all there is to say, It's just, I've just done such a good job. Everybody says so, and I've just been managing it well. I mean,
I reclaim my time, which I never had anyway in the first place, to ask you. But we are aware of the quality of the site. What we are asking,
of course, you are. Why you can't help but be aware of the quality of the site.
Listen to my question. The question is, it's a very simple one to answer. The question is, why hasn't it updated yet? That's the only thing we want you to answer us.
Well, okay, I'll have to answer this question in like a 3-part version. So I've been very seriously considering this question, and it's a very important one to answer. But first, people have to understand a bit of context that, the site has been around.
I'll stop you here again. I'll make it easier for you. Have you contacted the contractor that has been tasked with making the particular update? What is your report from that contractor? This is extremely simple to answer.
The contractor is a very good friend of mine. He's been very, very helpful on the site. I mean, I've loved his contributions, and he's always been available when we've needed him.
Administrator, do you realize that you have just confessed to a conflict of interest? The point wasn't for the contractor to be your friend. He was supposed to be suitable for the site. And
he's extremely suitable for the site. He's amazingly suitable for the site. He's done great work. I've been always very pleased with his work. And I have to say
then why isn't the site updated yet?
Well, there's certain conflicts of interest. Well, not conflicts. That was your words. I'm just taking over from what you've said. There are certain contexts that people have to understand. That the site has been around for a long time. It's a very well managed site. There's many users on the site. It is quite active, and people are very pleased with my administration. And I hope that will continue into the future. So yeah, I think that's all that needs to be said. Really, it's a perfect answer to the question.
You are late by 10 whole years. At this point, there have been so many other administrators that have come and gone, and you still haven't delivered on the update of the site. Why is that? I'm still asking one question.
I'm really disturbed at the adversarial nature of your interviewing. I mean, I was led to believe this was going to be a total softball, like Baines had assured me, and I just can't understand this. Like Tanzarine, I mean, I'm really disappointed at the adversarial tack you've taken. I'll have to seriously consider my patronage of this particular group. You really, you'll have to be considering your job on Monday, because I'm just not happy with that, Tanzarine. That's not good, because
Yeah. Oh,
Am I a good evil interviewee? I think I managed pretty well at that.
I think you are honestly. I'll be candid here. I think that you are more intelligent than the average interview.
Yeah, yeah. That was
That
amazing, by the way.
that was a lot more interesting than what they dish out. Like they would
Yeah.
not have been so good at trying to meander through things. They would have just been sitting there like uh, extremely unintelligent people, just doing their best impression of a tape recorder.
And then
Um,
saying, no,
I, I,
no, but what are you? But what?
Yeah, it would be going back to people love the site. It would be
yeah,
just like gibberish. And you did this. You did this really well. You did this,
Thank
yeah.
you.
but it would be more gibberish, and more quickly coming back to, oh, people love the site. They
Mhm.
love what
The
they
same
do.
thing, yeah, regardless, and getting lost in the same pat response. Well,
Yeah.
I will have to respond to it though, because you guys did ask me, and people should know like what's happened with the site. It's very slow because there's one person working on it, and he's doing his best. He's doing it for free at the moment. I think he seems to be like doing it as a favor, but I'm quite prepared to pay him if he needs it. Often it's with my own money because there's a lot of hidden things and all sorts of bits and pieces that have to be done, and it exceeds the money we've paid for it. So it's very slow because we just don't have the money to do faster updates, and that's the reason. It's money. It costs a lot.
And see, this is the difference because you don't have anything to hide, so you answer straight.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, the administrator that had probably pocketed the money and had all his friends on board to fight for more funds away from whatever budget there was, then you would have been meandering like that,
So
like how you.
yeah.
I'd be answering you while wearing a mink coat and a mink hat and gold bracelets. And I have no idea where this extra money is gone. No. Totally, these allegations are completely false. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Sorry, I can't hear. The connection's dying. My super yacht is outside of the
It's going up.
communication zone.
And again, I still maintain that you were a lot more intelligent in doing this, in the sense that at least there was some variation before you went back to how people loved the site, which was the main, which was your main go-to non-answer. Like people love the site, everything's going great.
Yeah.
People love the site. But at least you walked us through some other garden paths. There was like some variation to it.
And then I threatened your job in the end, which was the classic
Yeah,
one-on-one technique.
um, and the next thing would be two things. Either you I would have stopped the interview and called in the cops or something like, how dare you, this is gross misconduct, blah blah, or I would have been a lot less confrontational and said like, this is you can do whatever you like, but you will answer the question right now. That sort of thing.
Right, or pare it right down to a yes or no question, like just a yes or no question. Have you paid the person? Are the updates coming? Or not? Are the updates coming? But like, have you paid the contractor? Or something
Yeah,
like
or do you have a report from your contractor, to submit to the committee? That
yes.
answers.
Yeah, asking for some kind of proof, and then you just go to the same thing. People love the site. It's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
We've been here for 20 years, and people are very happy.
Exactly.
It's a yes or no question.
Now, if you had some kind of guarantee that you were like, no matter what you said, you wouldn't be kicked off the position or whatever, then you would attack me, and you would say like, you are a radical lunatic, like a web page crazed lunatic.
Web page craze. You have your own agenda. You wanted to take over the site from day one, and this is part of the plan. Everyone can hear it. It's been outlined for everybody to see.
You are a fanatic and a terrorist, that sort of thing. And we
an
know,
enemy of the state.
Exactly. An enemy of the site. That's it.
Secretary of State.
Yeah, and then absolutely, make a complete clown show of the committee or whatever. Because no repercussions.
Yeah, but it was a tricky process because we're doing it like in a fake adversarial style, but because it's concerning something that's in the real world, some of the language of the interview could and some of the styles of talking could get into the personal, and I was worried that I was going to offend you and Banes by the techniques I was using and what I was saying, which was
you were supposed to be a corrupt wizard. I mean, what were you going to do?
Yeah. But I mean, as I'm talking over you, going, no, look, shut up, look, I don't want to speak to you yet, that kind of stuff. That felt a bit.
Oh, you could have. Oh, that would have
I
been.
didn't like doing that. It just
that would be Banana Republic state of affairs.
But doing that sort of tore me up inside, telling you off, telling you to shut up. I don't like doing that to people.
Yeah, because you're not that kind of person, and also I didn't like having to interrupt you all the time.
It was so good.
I just wanted to let you just drone on and on.
That is another technique, though.
Because, yes.
If you let them drone on and on, they will just hang themselves because they'll run out of whatever kind of crap they're trying to spill.
It depends on who it is. There are certain types of interviewees that if you let them drone on and on, they will just keep on going and they will be meandering in and out of whatever mottos they want to just throw to the wall.
Agreed. Some people can do it, like the better ones, but the really dumb ones that Bane was talking about that are rehashing the same talking points, they'll just run out and they can't make it up after that. So
I have to say,
I was going to say sometimes the talking point is long enough, and that's the whole tactic, is to fill up time. Whether it's a radio interview or a Senate hearing, it's just a whole long thing designed just to fill up time. So it can be a long talking point.
That's true, but a clever interviewer would not do the interview live. The interview would be a pre-taped one, and then they just cut out all the crap, and they'd let them go. Blah, blah, blah. They'd imagine they were finished. And then
assuming you can still do that in the sense that you may have contracts in place where they forbid you to edit anything out or stuff like that. But I have to say that the ones that peter out, if you let them go on and on, are the less intelligent ones, and they also the ones that tend to repeat without completing a mosaic. They just repeat mindlessly.
Just goes from the beginning again.
Yeah, it's just like the tape ends, rewinds, starts again. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't loop around to the beginning. It just stops and it rewinds. And I do have names, but I'm not going to drop any names right now. But I just hear them sort of, run out of what they were supposed to say, and then they just restart, and that's it.
Yeah,
typical. Yes, a lot of really bad American politicians are very known for this, especially currently. And we won't say any more than that because this one we're talking about.
Everyone knows who we're talking about.
Yes, yes. If you subscribe to our Patreon, you can hear us being a little bit more
Or I
A
could
little bit
say,
less.
like, I cannot help myself, but I will say that everyone on their couch knows who I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, bigly. That's bigly we do. Yeah.
Exactly. Um,
Oh dear.
so,
Okay, so how does this apply to, say, the conflict resolution and the way characters deal with conflicts? I mean, this is a real world example almost of
yeah.
how a fictionalized version of myself and fictionalized version of you guys deal with a style of conflict, the interview style.
Mm.
But yeah, so Baines, you were like thinking about like what was your idea about how this applies to characters?
So it's like how characters deal with problems, with conflict, with confrontation, and the agenda underneath that. Like they'll have a certain agenda. This is basic conflict stuff, basic writing stuff. In drama, like sort of what people say is one thing, but it's like what's the character motivation? What do they want in a scene? Like whether they're jokey or yelly or trying to seem like the nice guy or the nice girl or they're blustering or whatever. It's like that's what's on top.
Yeah.
It's like
Or,
what's
or
underneath.
yeah, or even, appeal to emotion to get out of a difficult situation, like,
Yeah.
burst in tears, like, how could you ask me that? Uh,
Yeah, it's about tactics and stuff like that. And I had like a subtle example from two movies, and I almost emailed you guys about it, and I think I I didn't email it because it was too I was going too much into it. I'm trying to think of the better example, and now it's escaping me. But anyway, in the movie Castaway, it's a subtle example, but in the beginning of that movie, Tom Hanks has a coworker whose wife has cancer,
mm,
and Tom Hanks' like tactic in that conversation was to say like, "Hey, I know this great doctor. He was really helpful to this relative of mine. Maybe I'm gonna get you that number, and we'll get this thing fixed up, kind of thing." And that was him in a subtle way keeping his distance,
mhm.
from the guy and not wanting to accept the fact that she was in really bad shape. And it's shown by the guy's other coworker being a lot warmer and like, hey, if you need anything, like I'm so sorry and blah blah blah. And at the end of the movie, after his experience, Tom Hanks is a very different guy, and he's encounters the same coworker, and now the wife has died, and he's like, much more
Mm.
authentic. He's much more connected. He's like, I should have been there for you, and I wasn't. You know, he sort of brings up her death, and he's just it's a subtle way of showing he's a different person.
Yeah.
And you see that in a lot of stories where someone deals with things one way initially. Maybe they're very glib or distant or kind of denying things or avoiding things, and then they're dealing with it later once they've kind of grown up.
Okay. Well, interesting. So yeah, there's
The other example.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying to myself, what's the other example? It was like, oh my god, I can't believe it's just left my mind. But yeah, anyway.
Now, was the example in your email?
Yeah, but I think I deleted it before I sent it.
Yeah, I don't remember you mentioning in the movie. So
No. It'll come to me
yeah,
sometime tomorrow.
as it does. Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, how a character reacts to a confrontation or when they are put in a situation that is uncomfortable is an extremely great way to show where they're at emotionally and cognitively, and also their personality, um, or what their motivations are, or what have you, depending on the context of the situation, for sure. Um,
Yeah. some kind of pain in denial, some kind of
yeah. Like for example, like if you take from Brave Resistance, the doctor Nikos, he will not show that he takes anything seriously. He has this like sarcastic irony that he tosses back to people at all times, and that is his way of protecting himself. It's he takes everything seriously, but he will not admit it. He will not admit to any of that. He is going to be loud and borderline obnoxious, and yeah, that's how he manages to keep it together.
Right.
I remember Bane's example now was American Beauty.
Oh, I did send it. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's what, like, what does it say about me that I didn't remember the movies?
I didn't actually remember it. I found it in the email.
Okay, yeah. Well, I thought I deleted it. Yeah, well, there we go. And of course, I have no idea what I said about American Beauty, but I rewatched it recently. It was in my mind at that moment.
Okay, you don't remember? I'll tell you what you said. All right, so we go into conflict problems, changes in some stories as characters develop, if they develop, or as their hidden selves come out. American Beauty is all about that, with every character putting up a false front or performance to get through life before all the stuff underneath comes out. So that was about American Beauty.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he puts up a false front of sort of this sort of quiet, meek guy. His wife is being this saleswoman person, and like, oh, I'm bound for success, and that's how she's kind of projecting something out. The high school cheerleader character is projecting a false front to protect herself. Yeah, they're all putting out and then the neighbor's father is this military guy who's like got a hidden side to him. Yeah, that movie is kind of all about that.
Yeah, everybody has a. They're not as they represent themselves, as you say. But the way they attack their conflicts is quite direct, at least with that military guy and the dad and all this kind of stuff. It's very interesting, and they it becomes internal in a lot of ways for them, and it changes how they act and stuff, doesn't it? It's sort of twisted up inside. They internalize their conflict until it becomes external.
Right. You could say that, or you could say that they're projecting out, in the way that people will do, like if they have something inside that they're denying something about themselves, it becomes hatred of that thing on the outside. Yeah.
It does. So it's
people know what I'm talking about.
It's approached very directly in American Beauty, I think.
It's pretty clear. Yeah.
It is.
But the false face of the abusive, like aggressive dad who's like got this loser son, and he's was in a panic because of the drug use, and which we didn't see. It was before the movie starts, and then sort of he flips right out thinking the son is gay. You see at the end of the movie that there's there's a hidden side of the father. Like, oh, that's why he's so.
Yes. It's quite interesting in that. Yeah, there's a lot of like weirdly interesting stuff in that. Like Kevin Spacey's character going into bodybuilding and all this kind of stuff in his garage, and that has particular meanings and particular reasons for that. I don't remember much from the movie, but I remember all those kind of aspects, and that's his way of dealing with his own personal conflicts and midlife crisis kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the big picture is like everything covered over with this sort of suburban, perfect, stable family kind of image. And then there's all of the misery underneath it.
Mm.
It is. That's why it's called American Beauty.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
So how do your characters deal with conflict? Well, look, Kaiji Valentine. How they like Max had this thing where he's he thinks the big people are all out to kill him, and he thinks maybe Minnie is maybe out to kill him, and he thinks maybe Minnie is something's going to happen to her. So he's got all these kind of ideas and scenarios that he thinks are going on, and so in the meantime he's still being like super friendly to Minnie, even though he suspects something bad is happening behind what she thinks, or something bad is going to happen to her. He still likes, so he has that conflict, doesn't he?
Yeah, I guess so. This is more, they're more, at least from what I can see of it, like it's more surface level misunderstanding. It's like Three's Company level.
Don't downplay your stuff. It's significant.
Hey, I love Three's Company. It's great. But it's they're pretty genuine, So the misunderstandings are like pretty accidental. Max and Minnie are both pretty healthy, I think. Like they're pretty together. My typical strange family, who I love, in that comic, are a lot more like, hiding their sadness under jokes or glibness or
they're not innocents like every single character in Kaiju. Well, not every single character, but all the main characters are very innocent. And
yeah, they are. And I find the typical Strange crew very sweet as well, but they definitely hide their pain and frustration under this kind of glib exterior. Yeah. And in that comic, they probably will pretty much always be that way. Although they'll be happier if and
it's
whenever.
Just how it's done. So yeah, I mean TK and Oscar and Harley and all that kind of stuff. They've all got layers to them.
Yeah, they'll snip at each other.
Not all the characters have, but those kind of characters do.
For sure, yeah. How about Pinky TA? Oh, Pinky and her.
Depends, because there's all different kind of parts to Pinky, like chapters that are very different, with different characters and like a totally different setup. Like in the early Pinky TA, there's particular setup, and then there's the Pinky 7 and Pinky 6, Pinky 8, which are like completely different kind of characters all joined together. But okay, so Pinky has just two distinct layers: duty versus her own approach to dealing with that duty. So there's that one main one, and the other one is her own feelings about it. So, and those things conflict. It's a very, very straightforward kind of thing there. So she'll do the job, but she doesn't have to like it. There you go.
Yeah.
And Cece is no conflicts at all. Well, okay, so in the beginning she's like no conflicts. She's like, I'm gonna do the job. But even though it's like, sort of being a spy and sort of being against Pinky's interests and everyone else's interests, only for the interests of, her own covert ideas. But so later on, we've got her being a spy, but pretending not to be. So we've got that, like to pretend to be very helpful and while secretly undermining. So... but not putting too much of her own personal ideas, because I don't think she's the kind of character that, like one of these Star Trek characters, like a Vulcan or something like that. They don't have any personal kind of approach to it. They're all business. It's like, no, this is what I believe. My whole life is about this. I don't have any personal conflicts. My only conflict is not making my personal It's not making my secret job public. That's the only thing. It's hiding it. My only company's my only personal ideas is pretending I have personal ideas. Whereas no, I'm all about the job. I'm all about undermining things. That's what I'm meant to do. So sorry, that's a very pathetic and poor answer. Like Bottomless Waitress is far more complicated, really.
Yeah.
Way more layers. You know, you've got Jane, like totally being a bit of an enjeuné. I just wanted to say, I wanted to drop that word into.
It's a good word.
She's an enjeuné, but she's also she's in love, but then she very quickly gets out of love when her boyfriend cheats on her, and then suddenly she's an emo, snappy, nasty character. She doesn't have too many conflicts and layers in how she's just very direct, I think, so far. Whereas, say, Penny, now she has different layers. Is it Penny? Polly, that's it. Penny's your character, Bane. Well, I mean, they're your characters, but sort of my characters as well. But yeah, Polly is her name. And thank you, Tantz. So she has distinct layers. She's way more complicated. I think she's the most complicated character in the comic. So she's like going, yeah, I'll help you, dear. You know, what's your problem? But she's also got like this weird kind of thing happening with Craig. This weird, you know. So she's got her desires and things like that happening with him. She's helpful with Jane, but also jealous. And what's she doing in the situation in the beginning anyway? You know, is she too good for what she's doing? Does she think she's too good for her position? And
I would argue that Polly is directing confrontation on things that are relatively surface level and situational and not about her, and very much avoids confrontation and avoids having to work through stuff when it gets too close. That would be my assessment.
I think her name is very appropriate because she's polyconfrontational. She has many different layers to her.
Well, for example, if you take a character like TK, and why am I talking about these characters? Because I have studied them for my deep dives.
I was going to say, Tantz did a beautiful deep dive on Polly's character, and on TK's character.
Thank you. That's why I don't talk about the others, because I haven't actually gone with a focus on them and, you know, looking at all their pages and all stuff. So, whereas TK would be confrontational throughout. On the surface, and when things are too close to him, and sometimes the ones that are closer to him, the confrontation would be even more intense, I would say. I would expect.
That makes sense. Yeah, because now he's fighting for his life emotionally, like to protect his soft and gentle center or something.
He's the kind of character who will deflect with humor and will use sarcasm quite a lot, which is a very deflecting kind of approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a bit spiky at times.
Yeah.
So yeah, whereas Oscar is like, oh, I'm also, you know, I'm the good guy. I'm the good guy kind of character.
Yeah, I'm the nice guy. I'm good with it. It's fine. Like whatever you want to do, and then also humor, and that's how he deflects.
Yes.
Why do I have so many characters who deflect? I'm not gonna look.
Yeah.
But he would like maintain that not pretense, but that image of being the good guy, even when he wasn't feeling like being the good guy. Even when like he was feeling like, oh, bastard, boy, you're getting in my way. You're being a dick. But he would like, okay, I'm going to subsume that, put that down below. I'm a good guy. I'm easygoing. That's my feeling about him.
Yeah, the stuff might come out sometimes. You might see some anger sometimes, some confrontation. It's happened a few times.
Yeah. I don't think anyone, like at least in the main typical strange cast, are like easy to roll over if they don't want to roll over. Like if the situation arises where they have a vested interest into being confrontational, they will all be. It's just, you know, where that level is, where that context, like when will it hit them so that they will show that side of themselves. And they have different, different tolerance levels, quote unquote.
Yeah, TK much more prickly. You'll set him off easily. Abigail is kind of the same. Harley, I don't know what's going on within Harley's soul. We haven't seen enough of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harley is one of those almost I don't like to say, but a bit more of a cliche of that beautiful woman that's seen so externally. We don't really get inside her head as much because she is the beautiful woman. So we don't really.
She's a beautiful girl and projecting the toughy image. I know so many ladies like that.
Tough, independent woman.
Yeah.
Strong, main female.
Yeah. Sort of a bit abrasive and like tough. I'm tough.
Yeah. But yeah. So we don't see.
I'm getting money together. I want to get Tantz to do deep dives on all these characters. I'm scraping that.
Sure. I mean,
investment together.
If you don't mind me going through them at a like glacial pace, it's not even a snail pace at this point. Sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're very busy. But I would always be excited, because those insights, and you can see them on the front page of Drunkduck. Tantz will do these deep dives on characters, and they're awesome.
It's geologic pace.
Yeah, well, it's still like glacial. It's going to be geological soon. If I.
How long before the universe contracts or expands? It's sort of
it's not gonna take that much. Like give or take 100, 200 million years. It's going to.
Yeah.
The heat death of the universe, probably another 10 billion years.
Yeah, I will have another one by then.
All right, that's a promise. Holding you to that.
When the universe restarts. Well, Tantz has got a lot of different comments. Like the moonlight, resistance. What was the one? The wolf.
Oh my God! No, don't go that far back.
So what was the conflict between the characters in Wolf? Now, I can't really remember. Zoe, was that one of the characters in Wolf?
Yeah, Zoe and David.
Yeah.
My very rough around the edges characters that I still look upon fondly, even though there are so many flaws that I also cringe. But so what was the conflict? The conflict was between them or like internally. Okay, so Zoe felt that she had messed up royally and she had to fix it on her own, because if she got help in fixing it, then someone else would have fixed her mess, and so she wouldn't have a quote unquote atoned. So that was her conflict, because she had been trying. If you like, for anyone who even like recalls the thing, that nobody does. There is this virus, this like epidemic that is going through, and the virus causes symptoms like people have a lot of attention. Yeah, they don't become werewolves, but it's called like that because they have like red eyes, like this huge boost of adrenaline that makes them super strong, and then they basically break down and they have hemorrhages and stuff, and they die. So
it's 28 days later for werewolves instead of zombies.
Yeah. And the only reason I came up with this virus was because I wanted her to have a scythe, and I wanted her to have a reason to have a scythe. And the only reason she has this scythe that she carries around is that she can then sort of press on people's chests or throats from a distance with the curvature, the outer curvature of the scythe, and wake them out until they run out of oxygen, basically. So that was the reason. Yeah, I was. I used to feel so clever about this.
I love it.
That was before I got any kind of first aid training. So we roll with it.
So since then, you've had many, many other characters, many complicated characters full of conflict. So let's talk about say in Brave Resistance, you have okay, so you got Nikos. And who is an interesting character. So Nikos, what's his kind of internal conflicts?
All right, so Nikos, and we haven't really seen it because it's on a permanent hiatus before the actual conflict really surfaces for him. We are like, I don't know, something like 10, 15 pages before it starts to show. But the whole point, and I'm going to upload the script so that everyone can read how it ends. The whole point is that Nikos is a surgeon. He's a doctor. His life normally is dedicated to saving lives, to being an agent of life. However, he's also the best marksman in the village, in the partisan village, and he's the sniper of the village. He's the one that snipes people, and so he's also the harbinger of death for the enemy, because he is like the best, and he has this special sniper rifle. It is a Tula, so those are like the Russian USSR rifles that were supposed to be like super good. So he has that, and he hates that, but he still does it. And when he does it, he has this huge conflict that he is taking lives, even though it's like Nazis and stuff. It's still lives of people. So that's his main conflict.
What about his internal conflicts when he's just in the way that influence his actions when he's speaking to Hunter? So Hunter's this part Native American pilot who has gotten himself bailed out of his crashed airplane in Greece, and Nikos has this very sarcastic way of responding to all the things that Hunter does. He's helpful, but he's also seemingly adversarial in the way that he talks to him.
Yeah, so that is Nikos's way in general. That's how he deals with other people in general, unless they are a lot closer to him than normal. So, and even then, he does that a little bit. But his reason for doing this is that he wants to give Hunter something that is low risk and not threatening to engage with, because he tosses him all these sarcastic lines, but they are zingers that don't hurt him. Like they are not personal attacks. They are not attacks on what happened to him or anything like that. And so Hunter can sort of pay attention to that and forget about the other stuff. So he does that as a way of giving them something easier to work with, while all the bad stuff looms. That's one thing. And the other one is that he goads his patients into obeying him. Like if you
teasing
don't,
them.
yeah, not only like, it's not even teasing. It's like if you don't do this, you are going to be an idiot. That's basically, and that's how he actually did it at the front when he was a medic at the front. He got people to, take care of their food hygiene, or because that was a huge problem at the front, by goading them into doing it.
Yeah. But how does Hunter respond to this level of sarcastic communication from someone he barely understands the language for a start, and it's being delivered to him in this seemingly adversarial, teasing way for a lot of the things he's dealing with?
It completely throws him off for like 2 seconds, but because he's it's a happy accident in the sense that Hunter is very used to being ready to deflect attacks, and it's like you have this warrior ready to deflect like serious attacks, and then he gets tossed like a tennis ball against his armor, and so then it becomes a game for him as well, because he realizes that he catches on immediately that Nikos is not actually abrasive, and seriously abrasive. So he immediately plays along, and he becomes his foil. And Nikos really likes that, because very few people do that for him, and Hunter becomes one of them. That's why in the beginning he tells him, "Oh, I like you, pilot," like when he gives back what he gets.
And plus, Hunter's a bit more of a gentle giant and can respond to things a bit more physically than Nikos, who's more voice, because he's a small guy and he handles things with his facility and his cleverness, whereas Hunter is intelligent, but he's not vocal and he's more physical. So he can use his size.
Nikos is a Chihuahua, whereas Hunter would be something like a Newfoundland. That's more or less what I would match them as. And Nikos is all voice. Like as short as he is, like the rest of his height is in volume. So
his bark is worse than his bite, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's deep. Wow.
But then you've got the more aggressive characters who really are in like open conflict. The Nazis who are hunting these guys.
Oh yeah. The in Brave Resistance still, right? So one of my favorite evil characters is in there. His name is Achzager. So he's the major, the one that is in charge of the occupation force in that particular area, and he is a cold killer. He's not a guy that gets off on the murder thing, but he has no issue. Like to him, everyone is an object and a commodity, and he has no problem killing anyone and everyone. But he's also, very refined. He covers this ugliness by being telling himself that he is refined, that he is cultivated. He can speak Greek because he comes from a background of scholars and artists. His cousin was a famous pianist, and then he killed his cousin because he was married to a Jewish wife, and he tried to help Jewish people escape Germany. So he just went and shot his cousin at point blank, and his cousin was his most favorite family member. So that's the guy that Achziger is. And everything, he does not confront himself about all these things. What he tells himself is that he knows better because he is more refined, he has a better grasp in human nature and stuff, and he can fix things because he knows better. So everything he does is because he knows better than all the other inferior people around him. So that's he's not a monster, of course not. He just knows better, and he does things because he knows better. That's how he deals with this ugliness that he knows he has. Like deep down, he knows he's a monster, but he will never admit it. So
yeah.
So what were the other ones that were there? Like you had a big fat fellow, same so with H, I think.
Yeah, Hackett.
Hackett.
Hackett is the
Hackett.
No, Hackett is the one. He's the type of serial killer that enjoys the killing. He's in it for the pain, and the biggest thing about him is that he's Nikos's foil, in the sense that he is also a doctor, and he uses his knowledge, his medical knowledge, to inflict maximum pain, and that's why he is the best interrogator in the HQ. And yeah,
he has a specific conflict, say, with Ludger, who is the like his boss.
Yeah,
I think.
Exactly.
And even though he's Mr. In Control, Mr. Psycho, whatever, he still has to be a little good soldier to Ludger. He has to sort of do what he says. So that's a very interesting kind of thing. So there is an extreme kind of conflict.
Oh yeah.
It changes his behavior when he's around this other character. He has to be yes sir, yes sir, I'm good.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Ludger, Achtiger, of course, looks at Hackett as a brute and inferior and a monster, and he has no problem showing him that. Like, you are like beneath me, and I have you in my palm because I outrank you, so I can do anything to you. So Hackett resents this a lot. He feels that he should be he should be respected more, and that he's at least equal, if not better than Axeger, because Axeger is like cut and dry and boring, whereas Hackett is very, very flamboyant in everything he does. So he has this resentment, and he's the type of guy that will not confront Axeger face like head on. He avoids conflict. He only shows and does what he wants when he is certain that the other person is inferior or weaker than him. So he is biding his time to get to Axiger like he's waiting for the one time that Axiger is going to be in a weak position, and then he's going to pounce. So he does not do conflict. Hackett is absolutely afraid of conflict. So
with his superiors at least.
Oh, with everyone. He doesn't like conflict. With his inferiors, he doesn't look at this as conflict. He says, yeah, I'm going to brutalize XYZ like a poor Hirsch, he's a completely different person and personality. I'm going to brutalize him because he's inferior to me, and he's also like a half-wit. He believes that Hirsch is not intelligent. So.
Oh, quite interesting. So we got how many minutes have we? 4 minutes left on the Quackcast.
Yeah.
So covered interesting aspects of conflict, internal conflict. I don't know if we've properly covered your idea though, Banes. Like,
it's okay.
this is how Banes handles conflict.
It is. But no, this is not conflict. It's true. This was sort of a general topic, a general idea. I like the conversation a lot.
But we can say, you know what, though, it's a good, we could say that it is a good introduction to that, because now that we have talked about these characters, we can see how they resolve actual conflict, because it's not conflict with themselves.
Fair enough.
Right.
Okay, so what Baines has said has reminded me of how you approach a haircut from a hairdresser who's just spent like an hour or half an hour cutting your hair, and then you look in the mirror and you go, I hate this. I feel like I'm looking like an idiot. Oh my god, what have they done to me? This is the worst thing in my whole life. Oh god, I just want to cry. And then they ask you, so how do you like it? And you go, Oh, good. It's good.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Go on.
I'm going to say real quick that usually I do this, but there was this one time where the haircut was so terrible. I actually phoned the hairdresser and I told her that you did a terrible job. You made me cry all the way home, and I'm never coming back.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a very unusual way of dealing with the hairdresser conflict.
Yeah.
What about you, Banes? Have you got any stories about that?
Yeah, I would generally be just sort of be polite as I leave. And then
Go home and cry in the shower.
Yeah, just be quietly frustrated by myself.
Yeah.
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 All right, that's me wearing hats for 2 months now.
Exactly. Like
That's my life.
I don't know. I mean, I think it does have a cutoff point because I remember that I wanted. Oh, I'm not gonna say what I wanted, but it was terrible. I didn't get what I want at all. I got the
Yeah.
opposite. So,
There you go. Yeah, often it's bad communication to begin with, was why we get the bad haircuts. All right, we've got like less than a minute to go, so we've got to say bye. Thanks very
Bye.
much for being on Quackcast number 762. Bye, Banes. Bye, Tantz. Bye,
Bye-bye.
hairdressers of the world. Bye-bye.
You guys, that interview was really fun.